Hello, BookTube. I've got a fun tag for you today. This is the favorite quotes tag. This was created by the channel Sailing Through Books, and I was tagged by Joshua Creeper, of course. And this was fun because I don't collect quotes. I've never been like a quotes girly unless I'm doing like a essays anthology or something like that. I don't really keep keep track of stuff like that. But it was a good challenge to go through, and I spent a long time creating this list because I wanted it to be fun and a bit different. And so, yeah, let's get started. So, question one, a quote you return to in hard times and what comforts you about it. And I'm picking a poem from Milk and Honey, of course. Those who know Milk and Honey. I don't like it, but it just makes me laugh, and it really comforts me because it's such a beautifully written poem. So here it is, and it is a quote technically. I don't know what living a balanced life feels like. When I am sad, I don't cry, I pour. When I am happy, I don't smile, I glow. When I'm angry, I don't yell, I burn. The good thing about feeling in extremes is when I love, I give them wings. But perhaps that isn't such a good thing, because they'd always tend to leave. And you should see me when my heart is broken. I don't grieve, I shatter. That just makes me like it's so funny, and but it does. Whenever I'm feeling down, I read that and I think, oh my god, she understands, and I love it so much. Question two, a quote or two. I've only stuck to one. That sums up your philosophy on life. Now, I picked one of the great philosophers ever. Move out the way, Plato. Move out the way, Diogenes, Aristotle. Who are you? I picked a quote from Timothy Dexter himself. I done a Holy Sunday on him a couple while ago, but this is a quote. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but it gets me thinking about life because I don't know. I guess the world is one very large living creature, and always was, and always will be, without any end from everlasting to everlasting, and no end. What grows on this large creature is trees and many other things. In the room of hair and rocks is moulds. This is called the land where the hair grows, and the belly of the sea. All kinds of fish is the worms in the belly. Like, doesn't that make you just want to think about life? You know, sit outside and just do bro ponder. But so yeah, I picked that quote by Timothy Dexter because I love Timothy. Question three: a quote you love because it's beautifully written. And now I'm picking. It's not from a book. It's a quote from a speech. I know, a bit different. This is Bob Catter. He's a politician here in Australia, and he made a speech about the Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Games, and it's just a treasure trove. It's so beautifully written. The sheer like topics he can cram into one speech is just so incredible, and this to think this man held a piece of paper with notes. It's just incredible. I love it so much. So here it is, and I'm reading this from the Parliament of Australia website, so it's official, and I love how this is documented forever. So here it is. Treasurer, doesn't federal government backing of Brisbane's Olympics confiscate 30 billion off North and Central Queensland's coal and copper miners and cane and cattle farmers, giving it to the IOC, whose Paris opening ceremony was, quote, an orgiastic pagan ritual denigrating Christianity? Treasurer, didn't Christians abolish slavery, created from the brutal imperium and Pax Romana, and create from the Dark Ages the Renaissance? Didn't communism murder 78 million people? Didn't Gorbachev, the Pope, and Charlie Wilson as Christians abolish communism? Didn't pagan rituals sacrifice children to the tree and crocodile gods? Do such rituals still live on, Mr. Treasurer? What do I need to say? It's so iconic, and it's just one of my favorite quotes. It's so beautifully written, and so I love it so much. Four, a poem you have memorized, and why did you choose to memorize it? Now, I didn't have any here. I don't try to memorize poems. I suck at memorizing. I can't do it. So I don't have any to say. And I've never really tried because I have tried occasionally as like when I was younger, but I just can't do it. I don't know why. Five, a quote that captures how you feel about love or friendship. And I picked an essay from Montaigne, a quote from his essay on friendship. Montaigne's right here. We love Montaigne. So this is just a quick sentence from his essay on friendship, and it's so beautiful and simple. And it goes, if you press, and he was talking about he's like a friend he had or whatever. If you press me to say why I loved him, I can say no more than because he was he and I was I. It's so beautiful. I don't need to say anything else. Six, a quote that makes you feel seen. And conveniently, I have my copy of Sir Philip Sidney here, and we're going straight to Astrophil and Stella. For me, and that's Sonnet 50. It's very beautiful. I don't know how it makes me feel seen because I don't know anyone named Stella or Astrophil in my life, but anyway, it's just so very lovely, and I love it. So here it is. Stella, the fullness of my thoughts of thee cannot be stayed within the painting breast, but they do swell and struggle forth of me, till that in words thy figure be expressed. And yet as soon as they are so formed be, according to my Lord's love own behest, with sad eyes I their weak proportion see, to portrait those which this world is best, so that I cannot choose but to write my mind, and cannot choose to put out what I write, while those poor babes their death in birth do find. And now my pen lines has dashed quite, but had they stopped his fury from the same, because their forefront bears sweet Stella's name. So he's like, he can't get rid of what he wrote, even though it's not that great, because, it reminds him of Stella, and I just love it so much, and I don't know how it makes me feel seen, but I wanted to include this in here because it's one of my favorites. Maybe I should try and memorize that. And okay, last question, 7. A quote you want read at your funeral. Now, I didn't think about this. I don't really care, to be honest. But I picked the opening of Finnegan's Wake. I've read this on my channel before when I had my wisdom teeth done. And so I'm going to read it to you right now because just a quick refresher. So here it is. River run past Eve and Adams, from swerved of shore to bend of bay, brings us to a commodus vicious of recreation back to health castle and envious and I can't even say it, to be honest. Someone that's going to be the challenge. Someone has to read that at my funeral and pronounce it right and make it make sense. I could pick when Joyce tries to recreate like sounds like thunder strikes through words. Someone could read that at my funeral. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that was the favorite quotes tag. This tag's been tagged. Everyone's doing this tag, so I'm not going to tag anyone. But if you want to do it, please do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching BookTube, and I will see you next time.